me now. Go with me now. I'll take you down. Go with me now. I'll show you how. Go with me now. I'll take you down. Go with me now. I'll show you how.
We should be allowed in. You and I.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck it over there. Who cares about him? Welcome to my new series. Well, kinda series, I guess. I'm going to be reviewing pay-per-views, maybe Raw and SmackDown every then, you know, if I feel like it, whatever's the feeling. But starting off with WrestleMania 31, as you can see, I love Paige. This good painting here. Also got Dolph Ziggler over here, so when he won the world title. I also have a Randy Orton plaque and a Miz plaque from when they both won Money in the Bank, SummerSlam 2013 and Money in the Bank 2010. There are posters, there's shirts, there's the United States Championship. I got one MVP had, by the way, not Cena, not Rusev. I got one MVP had it because I loved MVP, and I also I've done that before in the practice. Also, the Rise Above Cancer, I support that every year. Anyway, now that the introduction's out of the way, you know who I am. I am Miz Tacular. If you haven't figured out who I am by now, go back and watch my old videos. I do LPs of Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros. Is coming, Pokemon, there's Town of Salem on Green Haze Productions channel. Go check that out if you want. So today, WrestleMania 31. It was 2 days ago now, so had time to settle, but the excitement of WrestleMania fizzle out. Not really, but we've had a bit of time. Needless to say, I wasn't very high going into this, I guess. Coming into it, I thought this would be one of the worst WrestleManias. Everyone said it had a terrible build. The only matches I was looking forward to were the Intercontinental title ladder match. It's a ladder match, they're always exciting. And Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. I was also, Bray Wyatt sold me on his match on the final speech before WrestleMania on that Raw. That was so amazing, that speech. But let's cut right to it. The opening match, the pre-show, which we'll add, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, Los Matadors, New Day with Xavier Woods, Usos, and Cesaro and, Tyson Kidd with Natalya. I only saw bits and pieces of this match. My network feed was like a bit iffy, but from what I saw, it was entertaining. Cesaro and Kidd was my prediction on who should have won. They did win. I thought it was a great call. I didn't see what happened to Jey Uso, but I heard about what happened to Jey Uso, and it was fair enough. I'm not against what happened to Jey, as he did have the shoulder injury. I personally thought they should have moved Jimmy Uso into the ladder match or into the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which he got into anyway. So I didn't think that it was nice for Jey Uso to be at Mania, but it was dangerous because of his shoulder injury. But Cesaro and Kidd went over. I thought that was the correct call to make, and still tag team champions. And sorry, I just got to also point out, I love Tyson Kidd. So, moving on to our second match, it was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, we had in my opinion, there was a few favourites. We had Mizdow. Curtis Axel was a dark horse. Like, obviously, he was either going to be first out or the winner of the whole thing, something ridiculous. Also had Ryback. I thought he was the favourite to win. And Hideo Itami, I thought who was a late entrant, the NXT star. I thought he was a very, very big favourite to win. Several other stars in there: Adam Rose, Zack Ryder, Primetime Players, Ascension, Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry, all off the top of my head. But we get to the winner. I thought it was incorrect decision of who the winner was. After hearing the reasoning that he had never won a Battle Royal before in WWE, not so against it anymore. But the Big Show did get the win. I thought the win should have gone to, I personally wanted The Miz or Hideo Itami to win, but then I thought the correct winner of the Andre the Giant Battle Royal should have been Ryback or Damien Mizdow. Especially Ryback. He hasn't gotten anything during his career, basically. He's kind of like a short change to Ryback. Big Show winning, I was dead against. I heard the crowd, they were against it too. I'm still against it to this day. It's a nice little, like, hey, you've worked with us for so long, here you go, nice little present for you for working with us for so long. But still, it's like, He had a chance to solidify Ryback, make a major impact for Hideo Itami. Miz missed out when they had their breakup, could have solidified it with the big win of the trophy, but what can you do? So, Big Show wins. I say congratulations. Not who I would have said, not who I would have picked to win. After this, we got to our main show with an awesome video by LL Cool J. If you haven't watched it, or if you did and you didn't think it was that good, go back and watch it again. It was a tremendous video. At the first time I saw it, I didn't think, I was like, eh, but it is actually tremendous. Then we got to our opening contest of the main show. The Intercontinental Championship ladder match. R-Truth, Luke Harper, Stardust, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, and Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett. My personal choice, I said the right call to win would have been Dean Ambrose. Because Dean Ambrose was the one that started this whole thing. He wanted his face to be on the wall of the headquarters among the great champions. And the champion, like, he started it all. And I just think it would have been a better way to end it if Dean Ambrose was the one that came out on top. Everyone knew Bryan and Ziggler were the heavy favourites to win, but, you know, I'm against what happened. I'll just say that much. Daniel Bryan did win. Congratulations to Mr. Bryan. I will say that. I love Daniel Bryan, don't get me wrong. I love Dolph Ziggler. I love Luke Harper. I like Cody Rhodes, not Stardust. I really don't like Stardust. Love Wade Barrett. Love Dean Ambrose. I chose to be like 50-50. I had no problem with everyone in this match. I thought everyone served their roles perfectly. I just think, yes, everyone wanted Daniel Bryan to win. They want him in the main event as compensation, but really, like, this was Dean Ambrose's thing. He started this whole thing and then he lost, and it's, I don't know. And before about the Royal Rumble as well, before we even get to that or anything involving that, I wanted Dolph Ziggler to win the Royal Rumble, not Daniel Bryan. I love Daniel Bryan, I really do. I have almost every one of his shirts, but I was against Bryan winning this year. I thought Ziggler or Ambrose deserved it. Intercontinental Championship match, Dean Ambrose deserved it. But what do you do? We got Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship, so, you know, I'll take the compensation. It's going to be tremendous. Following the Intercontinental Championship ladder match was my personal match that I was looking forward to. I wouldn't say match of the night after what followed, but my personal match I was looking forward to the most, Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. Personally, I kind of hope J&J Security were going to stay in the back. They didn't, but Randy Orton took him out early, so they weren't really a problem. That was sweet. I love that. Tremendous match. I thought it was amazing. It was a classic. Everyone's going to say, oh, you know, didn't rather reach expectations, didn't exceed Mara. How high were your expectations to begin with? Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, two of the greatest performers. How high were your expectations? They exceeded mine. I had very high expectations for it. The thing that exceeded it, I thought there was going to be the Phoenix Splash counted into the RKO. He went for the Phoenix Splash, missed it, and I was like, oh, okay, he's going to hit the RKO nowhere. Bit of a scuffle. Rollins goes for the curb stomp, sprung up, caught with the RKO. Is there a better RKO? Evan Bourne shooting star KO, that was picture perfect, but that curb stomp into the RKO was tremendous. I blinked the second Orton stood up, and I thought there was a glitch in the system. I was confused how Rollins got so high all of a sudden, and in slow motion. The power of Orton, the balance of Rollins, it was perfectly done. Kudos, I love that match. After this was, now I'm going to say, my most dreaded match. I didn't think this was going to be good. I didn't look forward to it. I had zero nostalgia. I had nostalgia for one person in that entire scenario. That man is Shawn Michaels. I love Shawn Michaels. I don't have nostalgia for Triple H because he's still there every week. I've had zero nostalgia for Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hulk Hogan in the NWO. Never liked it. Sting, I did, but TNA kind of got that nostalgia factor, seeing him there every week, you know, didn't really need it. DX, we have seen the New Age Outlaws that many times, they have lost their nostalgia. And X-Pac, does anyone have nostalgia for X-Pac? Really? So we go along, incredible entrance by Triple H as Terminator. A lot of people saying it's stupid, I thought it looked really cool. Not as good as last year. Last year will be impossible to beat for Triple H entrances. But this year he did try, and it wasn't as close. I thought Sting should have gotten a better entrance than he did. First WrestleMania, Sting, last WCW guy, major guy, and he just got a little intro thing, and not really much. Could have been a lot better, needless to say. After this was, if I'm thinking correctly, John Cena and Rusev. I don't have a list of the matches up, so John Cena and Rusev. I'm going to say that was next anyway. First off, let's get the elephant out of the room. Rusev on a tank was amazing. When his entrance hit, I was sitting there, I was like, oh, this is sweet, rah rah, oh cool, holy crap. And then Rusev comes out on a tank? Like, can you get any better than that, honestly? Kudos to Rusev, honestly. That was amazing. Whoever came up with that for Rusev's entrance needs more money. He should be paid more. He has tremendous ideas. Cena got an overly patriotic entrance. It was kind of embarrassing at the end. Went into the match. We all knew, everyone knew Cena was going to win. There was never any doubt. And it was a decent match. Cena put out the springboard stunner out of nowhere. I don't think anyone expected to see that anytime soon. Wrong match. Cena ended up getting Rusev hit Lana after Cena got out of the way, hit the AA, 1, 2, 3. I'm against that, but you know, we knew Rusev's winning streak was coming to an end. But what are you gonna do? You know. I'm not against it, I'll say that much. As much as I usually am against Cena ending these kind of streaks, like with Umaga and Miz's championship reign, Ziggler's run on the top, all these things. As much as I'm against that, I didn't think Rusev's one was that bad. After Rusev and Cena, we had Ronda Rousey and The Rock. Now, I don't know. Watching it, it was a bit like, holy crap, there's Ronda Rousey. But at the start, announcing the attendance record, that was cool. The Rock coming out, unexpected, and then it was after it took a while for The Rock, who was sinking in the reactions and yada yada yada. It came dead obvious. They were stalling for time. It became so obvious. But you know why? Because the sun was up. What came on after that? What was the final match? I would have made the final match and the second final match swap places purely for what happened, because while they were stalling for time, it was still a cool moment to see Ronda Rousey take down Triple H, and I kind of wish he took down Steph, but Steph's a non-performer, so, you know, it's alright. It was good for what it was. Incredible to see Ronda Rousey there. Then was Bray Wyatt and Undertaker, which was the match I was about to get to. This match, I think, would have been a million times better had the sun set. It was obvious they were stalling for time to get the sun to set, and it didn't go down. So we had to do... Bray Wyatt's entrance was amazing, but I kind of wish the sun was down. It was nighttime, because that would have been so much cooler. Undertaker's entrance, still cool when the sun was going down. There's still a bit like... Nighttime has such an effect on guys like those whose characters built around darkness, and their aura, I felt, the aura of the match and their characters was kind of diminished because the sun was still up. If the event was held an hour later, perfect. But it wasn't, and you can't do much about it, but, you know. Still, I thought it was a good match. I know Wyatt sprained his ankle prior to the match, a couple of days prior. Taker is Taker at this point. But still, I thought it was a good match. They worked more on theoretics than actual in-ring ability, I thought. I still thought it was a good match, but I felt that Bray Wyatt should have gone over The Undertaker. However, I still believe this match never should have happened to begin with. The Undertaker is 21-1, we know that. Streak broke last year. I was there last year. You can see there, I was there last year. Streak broke. A bit upsetting. A lot upsetting. But that should have been it. When the streak was gone, that was it. What else does Undertaker have to prove? He has nothing. So, after that, Taker should have left, be gone, banished, done. He's retired. Bray Wyatt calls him out, and it's fair enough. Bray Wyatt's character is kind of built around The Undertaker. So, gets the match. Now, look at it like this. Bray Wyatt lost. Wins and losses shouldn't matter, but sometimes they do, and Bray Wyatt lost. He lost to Cena last year. After losing to Cena, he had a feud with Jericho. First ever undisputed champion, only person to beat Rock and Austin. Pretty big star. Meant nothing because he lost to Cena. Takes on Dean Ambrose. Still means nothing. Finally gets this feud with The Undertaker going. Carries the whole feud by himself, which was amazing. Faces The Undertaker. If he won, diminishes the streak. Brock Lesnar's win was an anomaly. Everyone can beat The Undertaker now. But if Bray Wyatt lost, which he did, doesn't Wyatt just look so stupid for calling out The Undertaker? I mean, he couldn't beat Cena, and then you could barely beat Jericho and Ambrose, who aren't on Cena's level as much as I love Jericho. Star power-wise, I'll say. And The Undertaker's just as big as Cena, and he doesn't get the big win. It's like with Ryback in the Battle Royal. He's yet to get that big pay-per-view win. He's got a win over Kane. That's not a pay-per-view, a big pay-per-view win. That's just a win on a pay-per-view. They both need a major main event pay-per-view win in order to solidify upper mid-card status at least. But they keep not getting it. And it doesn't matter how many main events you get put in. It doesn't matter how well you perform. All that matters is getting the big win. And Ambrose, Wyatt, Ryback, they're just not getting those big wins. And I think it's hurting their characters and their chance of being future main event stars. Speaking of future main event stars, onto the main event. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Oh, sorry, I have thought of the match. Before we get to that, we'll put a cross over that now. AJ and Paige against the Bellas. I did forget this because of how many headline matches there were. I thought the match was decent for what it was. Nothing to write home about. It was a normal, or at least a normal men's tag team affair. But at least the women got a chance to go out there and perform with an ample amount of time. I thought it should have been a fatal four-way AJ, Paige, Brie, Nikki, Women Divas Championship. That's what I thought it should have been. I thought Paige should have won, but she didn't. It was made a tag match. I thought it was completely ridiculous. Now we're looking at Extreme Rules. I still think the Fatal 4-Way is the way to go at this point, but, you know, I think it's WrestleMania, every championship should be put on the line, and the Women's Championship was the only one that was not put on the line. As well as the Divas, obviously the Women's wasn't, but the Divas Championship wasn't the only one not put on the line, but the Divas Champion still competed. I think it was a way to give Nikki a loss without her dropping the title, but really, if Nikki drops the title, she's got Paige and AJ, and I think it should go to Naomi. She's earned a shot, or Natalya, but it's going to Paige or AJ. They're your only two options. As much as I love Paige, as you can see, I don't think Paige winning again is the correct option. Now we're back to our main event. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Now this was the match everyone was dreading. Next to no build-up. Terrible, like, Reigns was pushed too quickly. I think we all knew Reigns was going to be a major star one day. We all knew he was going to be the face of the company. I don't believe people actually had a problem with that. What I believe they had a problem with was Reigns got pushed too early and he wasn't ready for that main event spot. And I know like people like Jericho and Jim Ross and all that go around going, well, how do you know if they're ready? And it's like, I believe if next year, WrestleMania 32, Reigns was given the opportunity he was done this year, the fans would have been a lot more accepting. I think this year they really wanted Daniel Bryan to go in and face off against Brock Lesnar after it was announced Bryan was coming back. If Bryan wasn't announced coming back, he came back in the middle of the Rumble, or he came back the day after the Rumble, or whatever, no one would have batted an eye. But because they announced Bryan early, a lot of people went, well, why isn't Bryan winning? That just seems to make the most sense. Bryan's got the neck injury, he's making a huge comeback. What better way to finish the comeback than win the world title on the big stage one year after you just did it? But so what went down. Instead we got Reigns and Lesnar. Everyone thought the match was going to be terrible. And actually, if you look at it from a wrestling standpoint, this match wasn't good. It was just a whole lot of suplexes, German suplexes, clotheslines, fists, Superman punches, spears, F5s, not really anything spectacular. But the fans made this match. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people need to understand. An electric atmosphere can turn a bad match to good, or a good match to great. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns went out there, beat the holy hell out of each other, and then the moment came which we all saw coming but didn't see coming. Let's face facts, everyone knew Seth Rollins was going to cash in. It was the only way to get the title off Lesnar, but not have it be Reigns, because the fans still wouldn't accept Reigns yet. And they went out, Rollins came out and cashed in the middle of the championship match, got the title match, pinned Roman Reigns, won the championship, got the hell out of Dodge before Brock Lesnar got up. Brilliant move. And I know people are saying it ruined the match because I was excited to see how Brock and Reigns were going to end their match, and I was so excited. Let's face facts. What would you have done? Brock Lesnar wins. He's still a part-timer, still got the championship. Rollins comes in, and the guy that beats Brock Lesnar gets the credibility of defeating the streak, which means Seth Rollins would have been the one to get the streak. But because Brock wasn't pinned, that credibility is still intact to find that next big star, the biggest star, to take that streak. And I think the correct option should be Kevin Owens to take that. Although I question because Owens' age, I still think Owens is the only one with the intensity to match Brock Lesnar, the moveset and explosiveness and the all-round character to really just make it work. On the flip side, what if Roman Reigns had won? You had the crowd reaction. There's reports coming out that the crowd reaction on TV didn't do it justice to what actually happened at the show. It was horrific. Reigns was not put in the position by the fans the way the company thought he should have been. So, if Reigns had won, holding up the world title, they would have booed the hell out of him. Rollins cashes in, and you just got another Daniel Bryan situation, where Reigns is just holding the title before screw over after screw over after screw over, and what do you got? No one's, like, people won't be happy. So I think Rollins coming in, cashing in, and then also if Rollins coming in and cashing in, and I've seen someone bring up a whole contract dispute, and I should have been one-on-one, bell rings, this, that, blah, blah, blah. With Rollins cashing in, it did make it a triple threat, which would have made the last match null and void and in no contest. Which means Brock Lesnar has his rematch clause. We saw that on Raw. Randy Orton has his match. We saw that on Raw. Roman Reigns has his match because winning the Royal Rumble guarantees you a one-on-one WWE World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. And because it wasn't a one-on-one match, Reigns still has the clause. Look at Batista last year. He kept going on saying he's deserved the one-on-one title match for winning the Rumble, which is true. Everyone else that wins the Rumble, Cena cashed in early. That was his one-on-one title shot. Rey Mysterio, he won the title. Why would he want a one-on-one title shot? Like, Reigns is now owed his shot. Orton's owed. Lesnar's owned. That's three. 3 world title matches. World title feuds, sorry, to carry us between now and the end of SummerSlam. And we got the next 2 pay-per-views, Extreme Rules Payback, Randy Orton, done. Money in the Bank Battleground, Roman Reigns, done. SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar's back. 5 months worth of content for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match with Seth Rollins. So I thought it was a brilliant move. I think Seth Rollins really deserved it. We got a memorable moment. And on the 10th anniversary of the very first Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 21, 10 years later, at WrestleMania 31, it was finally cashed in on the big stage. How amazing is that? Like, that is a WrestleMania moment. And all I can think as well is that this has got to be one last shot by the company to Punk to have Reigns and Rollins 2 years in main eventing the biggest show. Despite the fact that Rollins is the biggest bad guy in the world, biggest heel in the world, and Roman Reigns clearly wasn't ready for this. I think just it had to be a shot at something. Kudos. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns did deserve their opportunities. And if you're going to get offered that opportunity, are you going to turn it down, honestly? So Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, main event at WrestleMania now. We're going to get Dean Ambrose in this. I'm predicting next year, main event, Rollins, Reigns, Ambrose, triple threat, world title. Ambrose wins the Rumble, Reigns has the title, Rollins finds his way in like he normally would through manipulation and whatever. Shield triple threat. And they're planning on trying to break the record next year at WrestleMania 32. That's one way to do it. Anyway, that's wrap up for the first show from WrestleMania 31. I'll be back for Extreme Rules. These videos will go up the night after the Raw after the show. So, show happens Sunday/Monday. Raw happens Monday/Tuesday, then the show will go up Tuesday/Wednesday. So, I'm Miz Tacular, and if you like this, well, watch the rest of the shows that are going to come up, but also go check out my other stuff, Mario Kart, Town of Salem, Pokemon. I got heaps of stuff. There's more stuff coming too. Go check out my friend Planetary Ashes. Go check out my co-worker Green Haze Productions. There's lots of stuff. You'll probably enjoy it all. But I'm Miz Tacular, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to the battleground.